Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how I transform my bedroom from this into this, and how you can do it as well, on a budget. And yes, I am sick. My throat is actually dying. And no, I'm not trying to copy Peter McKinnon with that like drinking thing. Alright, so just before the video, I want to just tell you guys that it does not have to be with expensive gear. You can achieve this lighting setup with probably like $50. You know, it does not have to be expensive at all. And basically today I'm going to be going over the fundamentals of how you can light a YouTube setup and how you can set up everything properly to make your YouTube look a lot more professional and stand out from all the other videos out there. Alright guys, so this is essentially the setup we're working with. We're going to be using this side of the room. So what you gotta do is find a good spot in your room that would look good on video and just pick that spot. Preferably a spot that's not too distracting and doesn't look too bland. So right here we got the computer, got the posters, little recliner, the chair that I'm gonna be standing on, the chair that I'm gonna be sitting in. So basically eliminate any like distractions. If it's like a mess in the background, try to tidy it up. So what I did is I had a mess here, and essentially I had a lot of like random paper stuff. So I just put this folder in front of it, and now it looks pretty neat. So this is the angle I'm going with, but you can also get a secondary angle. So a place where you can put another camera. So in my case, it could be like right here, you know, so just experiment around. Alright guys, so this is the angle I'm going to be using. After you find the perfect camera angle and the placement to put your camera, now you're going to want to turn off the ceiling light and any other light sources that doesn't add to the lighting. So let's turn off the ceiling light first. After that light is off, I want to be turning off that lamp in front of me. So let's do that. Okay, now we have like kind of like a clean slate, like a nice canvas. This is how you usually light stuff. You turn everything off and then you start from the ground up. So there is some light sources from the window. I really can't do much about it, so I'm just gonna work with that. Alright, so number one, I'm gonna be using a key light. So now I'm gonna be using a fill light, so I don't have really harsh shadows. Usually in movies you want really harsh shadows sometimes, but in YouTube videos you generally don't want to do that. So get a fill light. Okay, now we got a fill light. So right now it doesn't look bad, but I want some background separation, and that's where the backlight comes in. When it shines behind me, you see this nice rim around my outline. I'll be using this as my backlight. So this is a little camera light that I have, and it works really well. So put it right behind me just to add a little bit of background. And now it seems really white and kind of orange, so I'm gonna add another more color to it. And I happen to have these LED strips in my room, which means we're gonna be using it. Boom, now it's looking really good. So let's add another backlight. So I just added another backlight, and this honestly is all you need. So let's go over it one more time. You got a key light, this is the main source of light, the fill light to balance out the shadows and the lights, a backlight to separate you from the background, another backlight to add more to it if you need to, and then some ceiling LED lights or any kind of colored LED lights to add some flavor to it. Obviously you don't have to have all this, but this is what I'm going to be using in my YouTube setup. So now I want to be adding some props just to make it more interesting. So I'm going to put like a little plant right here because it's empty, and that's what I'm going to do right now. So I got this cool little IKEA plant. It kind of contrasts pretty well with the orange light behind it, so it looks really nice. I also have some other props like this little Funko Pop, some little accessories. So, you know, find some cool stuff to put in your background just to make your background a little bit more interesting than, you know, most people's videos are. Also, for the camera, now that I set up all the lights, the camera I'm using is the Sony a7 IV. Where is it? And it's right here, if you guys can see it. So that's the camera I'm working with. But honestly, you can totally use an iPhone or any kind of phone, or even a computer webcam. You're gonna get really good quality footage with those as well. Alright guys, so now that we got this setup all set up, this setup probably cost a few $100s. These LED lights are probably a few $100s. The ceiling lights are probably 20. The lamp is probably like 10. This little light is like $20. So it is not, zero budget for sure, but there are obviously a lot of alternatives. So desk lamps, those are perfect for these scenarios. You can literally get one of those clamp lights for like $10 or even less than that, and just clamp it on your table, light your face. That's literally what I'm doing. I mean, maybe not might not be as convenient, but you don't have to be spending a lot of money, right? So you can just get a light as your key light, another light for your fill light, and then a backlight, and they can just all be little lamps you find online. And probably won't cost you more than $30 with all these combined. You don't really have to spend a lot. Maybe get a dimmer so you can control the light and it's not just blasting your face. But besides that, I don't see why it would cost a lot of money. I think it's not very expensive at all. So what I learned today from setting everything up is that lighting is key in a video. You don't need to have the best camera. I mean, this camera is really good, but if it's an iPhone, it would look equally good, right? So you don't have to have the best cameras. You just gotta learn the fundamentals of lighting and implement that with the budget you have, and then you have this beautiful, nice YouTube studio. But, video isn't all. In fact, some might say it's even less than 50%. So another huge component of a nice YouTube video or a short film is the audio component. So be sure to check out this video to learn how to record perfect audio for your movies and YouTube videos. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.